Everybody, welcome back. So where we left off before was I was at about the age of 14, and I was talking about getting drunk at the park, and we got the booze from a girl we knew, her brother, and I'm really not going to go into details too much about what happened, because I really can't remember, to be honest with you. One part that I do remember is that one of the girls had a car, and she couldn't drive, and I said I could. And I ended up drinking and driving that day. I was 14 years old, didn't even have a license. Car full of friends. I look back now, and I ask myself, what if I would have gotten into a car accident, killed myself, killed everybody in that car? What if I would have gotten into a car accident and killed another family, or just killed anybody? What if I would have got drinking and driving? It's just, these are things that we don't think about to this day when we use mind-altering substances. These are things that we don't even think about at that age because we're trying to impress people. We're trying to be cool, just to put on a show, and man, wow, somebody was looking out for me up there. But I thought it was acceptable because when I was at that ages of between 5, 7, whatever it was, when I was at the bar with older authority figures, grandparents, whoever it was, and I seen them hop in the car after drinking and driving, or after drinking and then they drove, that I could do it. It was cool. There's nothing to it, right? No. But, yeah. Now, even going on further on to this day, or not to this day, but later on in life, maybe I still thought that I could do that. But that's not the right way to think. So after that, after I was introduced to alcohol, basically it just opened up the gate. People say marijuana is the gateway drug. It's either alcohol or marijuana. I'll be honest with you. That's what it was with me, in my opinion. So once I did that, it basically just opened up the gate. I started using marijuana. I didn't start using it. I tried it. And I might have to think back here and there, but I used it, and I didn't use it regularly. Now this is key too. I met a girl in middle school whose parent used it, which that opened up the door to using it quite frequently. Now we can bump this up to about 8th grade, 7th, 8th grade. Yeah, 7th, 8th grade. Now her parent used it, or her parents used it. So that's when actually marijuana use became quite frequent in my life. And obviously I started becoming rebellious with my parents. The authority figure, the respect level went down. It just, and then that became a way for me to cope with everything. It was my escape, plain and simple. Did I develop a dependency on it? I don't know. I honestly can't answer that yet. Looking back, I don't know. I didn't know what addiction was back then. I wasn't informed. I had no knowledge of it. So there was no awareness level of it. But that's when I was a frequent user of marijuana. Was in that grade level or that age level. So, it's messed up. I was getting drugs or marijuana for her, whatever. She was getting it for me. It was just one hell of a unhealthy relationship, and I look back on that now, and it's just like, wow, what was I doing? And my parents tried doing whatever they could for me. They loved me, They were probably frustrated. But
How did your parents intervene when they found out you were using?
They sent me to counseling. And that was pretty much it at that point. But now, my suggestion would be, if you have suspicion of your child using, drug test them. This is my suggestion. Drug test them and get them into treatment. Yeah, you might sit here and say, it's just marijuana. But no, it's a step in the right direction. So, but now going into high school, I still was a marijuana user, drinking. So basically, alcohol and marijuana, that became a stability in my life. Obviously, hanging around with who I hung around with, that was huge.
Did you play sports in high school? You told us you played sports, right?
Yeah, I played sports when I was younger. Yes, I did get involved in sports. I swam. Swam in my high school years.
You smoked weed while you were swimming?
Yeah. I smoked weed while I was swimming. I even bumped it up then, and I started doing Ritalin when I swam. And I thought it made me better. I thought I studied better, and I thought it just made me a better person overall. When in actuality, it made me a worse person, because I would stay up later and I couldn't function better at school. I would be dragging, and I would be just sleepy and shit, and it just wasn't. It wouldn't make me a better person, and that's the thing about drugs. You think drugs, they make me a better person. Yeah. No, they don't. They don't. People need to get that through their heads. They do not make you a better person. They don't make you work better. They don't make you study better. So, and that's the thing about them. They trick you.
When you were in high school, swimming and using the Ritalin and the marijuana, were any of your friends that were on the swim team or anybody you hung around, were they also using, or were you kind of alone with that?
No, actually, it's interesting you say that, because there were people on my swim team that would smoke too. So, drugs are everywhere, and that's why it's so important to be involved in your kid's life and have that open relationship. And build up that self-confidence and that inner strength and that resilience with them. And obviously people know right from wrong. That's a given. But, I posted that article on Facebook today, 10 ways to prevent drug addiction in your child. And I hope, people share that and read that. And, like I said, it's never too young to talk to your child about drug abuse and drugs. But, like it says in that article, the younger that you talk to them about it, you have to be in all seriousness about it and talk about the consequences. But it talks about it in depth in that article. Basically, it talks about if they're older, 13, 14, it's no good. So, basically, anyway, back to my story. Yeah, drugs are everywhere. You know, I smoked with people on the swim team. I mean, it wasn't everybody, but there's, you know, one or two.
How about, can we ask you two quick family questions?
Mm,
We know you have siblings,
yeah.
and I know your parents also continue to try to intervene.
Uh-huh.
So did your brother and sister see your parents going through this with you? Tell
Yeah,
us about that.
So, yeah, that's another thing too, you know, that traumatizes. Okay, so when, man, you know, looking back now, I didn't even realize the effect that it had on my siblings, and it still has an effect on them to this day. You know, my relationship is still broken to this day with my siblings. I haven't had a healthy relationship with my brother and sister for the last 20 years. 20 years, because that's how long I've been using drugs and alcohol for. And that's sad. That is sad. But I can't dwell on it. All I can do is build. Build. That's all I can do now. But back to the trauma that I created or instilled in them. Yeah, you know, me arguing with them, getting physical with my dad. You know, yeah, that did do something to them.
They saw that?
Yeah, you know, them, my parents calling the cops on me. Man, you know, we don't put that into consideration at that age because we're so damn selfish. And all we want to do is just have a good time. I don't even know what, I can't even really put me in the moment at that time, but I was just being so rebellious in that. But the effect that it has on family is traumatizing. So it puts a lot of stress, man, concern. There's just so much negativity that goes into it. It's just it's bad.
Affects every person. Hey, I can see the pain on you, Jay, and I know it hurts you. I thank you. Thank you for opening up and sharing this with everybody.
Yeah.
I know it's painful. Do you want to do you have any suggestions besides closely monitoring kids as far as families go in high school? How about young adults? Do you have any suggestions for young adults, the kids themselves, not just the parents, but what can you tell kids in high school?
Basically, in high school, I know it's tough. You know, high school is tough. And if you're feeling down, basically, feelings come and go. You know, it's just an emotion. The pain that you'll endure, basically, so pain makes you stronger, right? And if you learn to deal with that without drugs and alcohol, man, that'll build your character, that'll make you stronger. But if you sit here and you rely on drugs, alcohol to deal with that pain, and you become addicted, the pain that you develop from that, man, boy, that pain is so much worse and harder to deal with, and it can ultimately lead to your death. I don't even know what to say, you know. That, the pain, the feelings of having zits on your face, whatever, I would much rather be dealing with that again than all the pain that I had to deal with the addiction and all that. But we're going to stop here for right now, and I hope you you know, keep following, and we'll pick it back up. So thank you very much, and thank you for watching.